in this consultation call between Danielle and one of our members. She covers some of the areas that are very important in scheduling the new patient, particularly the new patient who's calling in off the street, and how to handle insurance problems as well.
So I was reading over your email, and we actually work with a lot of members that are in network insurance because in their area, probably similar to yours, you almost have to take the insurance because everybody takes the insurance, and the community is kind of insurance driven where it's a big deal to them. So you may feel that. Now, Dr. Sheldon may have a different opinion on that, and because a long time ago we did take insurance and we went through periods of trying to accommodate insurance, and now we don't take insurance at all. However, I will tell you that I do believe that our community is very insurance driven. I think every community is kind of insurance driven because you have the person that is paying for this insurance and they want to use their insurance. Yeah. So what I feel, I want to get a little bit of maybe some examples of situations for you before I give you a solution that I think is a solution, because I found that when you have a different mindset, and it's very difficult sometimes when, especially in your situation, you're the only one up there, you're doing many different things, it's really hard to really focus on one situation when you have a lot of things going on behind you. So I do understand that, but it's all really a mindset that you have to turn that over to the patient. And that's really kind of what I want to discuss with you when it comes to an insurance issue. So first, tell me, are you the only one working at the front desk?
I am.
Okay.
Our dental assistant, she does come up and she helps me.
Okay.
She'll help. She'll answer. She makes appointments, and so she does help whenever she's not. But I'm pretty much the one who takes care of all of the insurance, financial situations with all the patients.
Okay, so you answer the new patient phone calls, you answer all the phone calls.
Yeah.
Okay. You check inpatients, you check outpatients, and you schedule all the procedures.
Right.
Okay. How big is your office? How many staff members?
Not big. There's only one doctor, and one hygienist. It's just lately. It's more difficult lately because we have had. It's been a lot busier now. We have been getting a lot of new patients. So then you have that whole involved with trying to take care of a new patient that's on the phone. And I'm getting 4 new patients a day calling.
Okay.
And a lot for me when I'm trying to do with, trying to make sure I have the time for them as well as, taking, and it never fails, a new patient will call as soon as, I get 2 patients that are coming up to the front desk.
Right.
That's inevitable. And like I said, Tiffany is, if she will help me for sure. She always will step right up and do that, help me out with that. But, she's positioned to do that. But can be busy back there too. So it's just trying to navigate through that. Now, we were discussing with, as a matter of fact, yesterday, with the doctor in hiring an assistant floater, so that she could have someone back there that would be kind of picking up the pieces there, and then Tiffany would probably help more up front here with me. So that would probably alleviate some of my some of the challenge that I have up here.
Right, and I'll touch on that. I'll touch on that before we have too much stuff involved in it. I highly recommend that. We have, you have very, very talented staff. You have Tiffany that does the assistant. She's very talented. You don't want to do too much to take her away from keeping the production on track and keeping the schedule on track. And of course, you don't want to burn her out. So you have her doing her thing. You have you doing your thing, which is very important. New patient calls, absolutely, hands down, comes first. But also, that being said, you don't want the patient that has trusted you and invested in you to sit there and watch you on a phone while they're waiting to get checked out. So I think that what you're doing is a good idea. Let Tiffany bring the patient up, let Tiffany check the patient out, collect, reschedule, do whatever she has to do, and let the patient go. But I have a pretty good idea that she probably has a schedule she's sticking to as well, and you don't want to keep her from bringing that next patient back. So the new patient phone calls in our office, they do come first. Now, we have a staff member designated to answer new patient phone calls. Now, they do other stuff as well, but primarily they are answering new patient phone calls. So, for example, I'll have Lisa, which is kind of sitting at the check-in, check-out desk. She's the first one to answer the phone. She, greets the patient on the phone. She determines what the patient needs, if it's just to confirm, if it's to let us know something, something quick. She'll take care of that and she'll hang up the phone because her prime job is to check patients in, check them out, because like I said, you want to make sure that after they've invested in you, they still like you. They still want to come back because you're still taking care of them. So that's her job there. My person sitting next to her is my new patient phone call person. Now they're scheduling too, and they're helping check in and out too, but their prime job is to answer new patient phone calls. So if Lisa answers the phone, it's a new patient phone call, she's going to transfer it over to Jennifer, and that way Jennifer can take that long, lengthy phone call and not have to worry about patients coming in and out because she's taking that off of Lisa. So we did hire a floater type of person like what you're talking about. This person is a person that we hired when she was a senior in high school, and now she's in her first year of college, and she comes to work for us certain hours of the day. Very inexpensive to hire her. She's very motivated because she wants to prove herself. She's very dependable. She's very smart. She's a very hard worker. And she does all that stuff like mail in, mail out, making folders for us, the reception room, filing stuff for us, confirming patients for us. So all that busy work that you're doing that's kind of bogging you down, they can definitely take that. Plus, a person like that, they absolutely can check in, check out while you're taking those phone calls. So absolutely, I recommend that you do hire somebody like that because it's not very expensive to do that anyways, and who knows, they could turn into a great staff member down the line. They may decide to have, forever employment with you, and that's another thing. But for what you were expressing, initially, I do recommend that you get some help. The new patients that you have calling in, this increase that you're having, are they coming referred from doctors? Where are these new patients coming from?
It's we've had a combination, but I have to, and they have been doctors. But what I have found, what I'm sensing is that we definitely had some a lot of Google since we started doing Google reviews and encouraged, and that has definitely helped and definitely brought people in inquiring. I don't feel like a lot of that's following through. I mean, they're inquisitive, they're asking, they're maybe coming in, but then once they kind of see what it's about and how maybe how expensive it is, they're not doing it.
Okay.
I don't feel like they follow through. Where I feel like most of our increases is with general dentists that are referring are in network. So I think with Delta Dental particularly, there's a lot of dentists that are dropping it, especially specialists.
Okay.
So since we are still in network with Delta Dental, I feel like we're getting a lot of patients that are coming in who are Delta Dental patients, and that's why they're coming in.
Okay, I got it. First of all, with that, you have a lot of things that are going on that you feel like are changing. Are you statting any of this? Are you statting how many new patient phone calls come in per day, where those patients are coming from, and how many of those patients, once they come in, are accepting treatment?
We do keep track of where they're being referred from, and my part of my problem lately is that because I've been so busy, I haven't, like, I make tickler notes to follow up, but I do feel like there's some that are getting lost in the shuffle because I'm not really able to just, like, completely just concentrate on that, or so to speak, because like I said, I'm setting out whatever predeterminations and this and that, and then I'm making tickler notes. Are they following through? And I do make notes for even the people that aren't, who are just our Google people and our patients, and are they following through? And I do, have they followed through with treatment? And I think I'm doing a pretty good job with it, but I don't feel okay about it because of the fact that it everywhere else.
Well, if you're not feeling good about it, odds are you're not, doing it the way that you know is successful. You do this all the time, and you know when you feel good it's working, and when it's not, you just can't get to it. And again, the main reason why you can't is because, one, you're getting busier, which is great, and two, you don't have the help. So if you're getting busier, you can afford that help. So I recommend that you get that help in, because the things that you need to do in that practice is very important, because you're knowledgeable and you've been there for a while, and you have that seat. And if you're going to consume your skills with work that somebody else could come in and take care for you, you could put a lot more quality into what you do well, which is what brings that high stat to your practice. So the statistics that I do recommend that you start taking, and this is for you. This is for you, so you can say, "Hey, doctor, look, this is what's going on," and you can have a really good suggestion to what you guys need to do. You know that physician more than your doctor does. It's his practice, but you know that physician more than he does. So if you can have a simple log next to your phone right now, you're the only one really doing it, but Tiffany could help you with it, and the new girl could help you with it. Every single call that comes in that's a new patient inquiring about the practice, write the patient's phone number down, or write the patient's name down, and write how they heard about your office. So if it's a call coming in, and you're doing your greeting and they're saying, "Yeah, I'm calling because I'm wondering, do you do implants?" And you can say, "Great, what's your name?" and write the name down, and then give them, your little thing of what you do with implant, explaining the implant, and then one of your first transitions should be, "How did you hear about us?" It's the Google, it's, Dr. Smith, or however it is. Write that down and do your regular phone call, but you are just keeping a log right there. It's not to call them back. It's so you can track, one, how many patients are calling per day, two, are they scheduling, and three, where are they coming from? You keep that log in some kind of Excel, Word document, whatever you do, so that when that patient does come in, if they come in, and we just put the date that they're coming in for the new patient examination, once a month we go through it and we put next to the end of that log, did they accept, yes or no? And if they did, how much money was the plan? Was it a $500 plan? Was it a $5,000 plan? Was it a $25,000 plan? How much was it? And that schematic sheet that you've just made, if you look at that every single month, you can go to your doctor and say, "We are doing amazing. So this marketing thing that you're doing is working," or, with this hiring, this person-related work, and I think that we really need to, sharpen this and keep going with this, or you're doing worse, whatever it is that you're doing, that's a huge piece of information for you, because you're drowning right now and you're so busy, you're kind of working off speculation. You have no idea if you're doing better or worse or what you're doing, because you're so busy trying to keep afloat, you really don't know. So you do need to have, one, a stat sheet to let you know what really is going on, because that will help your doctor determine, do we need help, do we not need help, do we need to increase marketing, do we need to decrease marketing, do we need to change marketing, what is it that we need to do to help Joyce do better at her job. Mm-hmm. So I do recommend, one, look for somebody to help you, two, stat, so you know for sure, and then the next thing on that is, okay, now you have these patients do you feel the ones that are calling, are they all scheduling to come in, or do you find a lot of them are not scheduling to come in for their examination once they talk to you?
Most will schedule an appointment. There are few that are just kind of, you do a little shop. They're, doing a little price shopping.
Right. But most of them are scheduling to come in.
Most of them are Most of them are scheduling.
Okay.
What I find is that, especially the people that are the Google people,
Yeah.
they're scheduling and then they cancel.
Okay.
And then, I keep a record. I mean, I keep all of those because we have encounter sheets that we have,
Uh-huh.
Telephone encounter sheets that we have. And so if they cancel, I do keep them for a while in case they call back or they'll just say, whatever the reason. We will make a note on the encounter sheet.
So they're canceling before the new patient examination.
Sometimes, I think, oh yeah, I think I really would like an implant, and I've had this missing for years, and da 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 da. Yeah, I'll schedule an appointment, and let's do that, and I'll schedule the appointment, and then, and then they'll cancel.
Okay.
And say, oh, I'll call you back, or I changed my mind. Or
so
whatever.
they call back and they say never mind, or you confirm and they say they're not going to come in. When does it happen?
Sometimes it never, and sometimes it's not show up.
Okay.
And that seems to me to have been increasing more than it ever used to. I guess especially because of the fact that we have such an influx because of where we're coming from, and we used to always be referral based,
right?
90%, or just referring from other patients,
right?
But
now that's a big thing. If you do listen to our webinars and the stuff that we do, one of the biggest things that we always hone in on, because we want to make sure it's very, very, very clear. The referred patient from off the street is much different than the referred patient from the dentist.
Right.
But the referred patient from off the street is worth 3 times the patient that comes in from the referral source. But you do have to do it different. Now I can tell you, I agree with you. The patient that comes in from off the street, Google, magazine, whatever it is, those patients you need to kind of hand feed. You need to kind of lead them in your direction, because you don't have somebody that they know and trust, their general dentist, saying, hey, go to this doctor because I know him, we work together, he's great, he's going to help you with this implant. They don't have that. So they're skeptical, they're a little bit apprehensive, they're scared, they saw something, they read a review, they saw your webpage, and they thought, oh, this is the guy, and this is the time to do it, and I've always wanted to do it, and they're excited, so they schedule it. And then a few days go by or a few weeks go by, and something happens, like they need a new roof, they need the car to get fixed, there's, an emergency happens, the air conditioner breaks, and I think, you know what, it's just not the time right now. It's not, I'll just do it later, and all of a sudden, it's no longer important. So one thing, those patients, you have to get in sooner than later. Within a week's time, going on to 2 weeks, you're kind of pushing it, because they will fizzle. They'll fizzle out fast. So
that's a problem.
Okay. So how soon are you scheduling out your new patients?
We don't have specific times for new patients, a specific day for new patients, so it's whenever we have opening. And that is an issue for us in general, because I'm booking for any appointments almost a month out now.
I'm sorry,
how long? We added time, some time on Thursdays, added hours. So
if I schedule a visit with you today, when can you schedule me?
If I am scheduling right now, I'm scheduling you May 15th, something, I think somewhere around.
Okay, so here's a big suggestion for that. Your referral patients can wait a little bit longer. They'll be okay. It's always worked for you. You know it's going to be okay. But your referred patient, you need to find some room, and I can work with you. I've worked with a lot of office, and this specifically is having a block schedule where you have some spots reserved for that patient. Now, if you can't fill it, let's say, today is Thursday. Now, we don't work Fridays. We work, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. If it's Thursday today and my block for Monday is not filled, I'm going to fill it today. I'm going to fill it today because I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to save that block. But I'm going to have a block, you said right now you're getting about 4 new patient calls a day. So you're going to get 4 calls today probably, and you can fill that spot on Monday with a doctor referral if it comes in. But for those patients that are calling in from off the streets, you got to have something within a week to give them because they're motivated right now. So I would block off on your schedule, 2 appointments a week that you have only for that off the street referred patient. You don't really know yet what you have or what you need until you start playing with it. Start with 1, then go to 2, then go to 3. And maybe, you can somehow redesign your new patient template that you're using now, to get them in there. Again, I don't know until I would work with you one-on-one to find out what your schedule looks like, where you have some room, to fit this in, where you can maybe, work a little earlier one day or later one day or, crunch a day or do something to start playing with the idea just to see, how you can tweak it to work for your practice. But you got to get that patient in sooner because for us, we have a 2-week limit, and that going into the second week is really pushing it. We would find the same thing, just because they start freaking themselves out and saying, oh, gosh, I can't do this. What am I thinking? I can't do this. Also, for that patient, I don't know what you're doing as far as with your referred patient, but for that patient coming in from off the street, we would either spend some time on that initial phone call or we would call them back at some point that evening the next day just to kind of do which is the doctor phone call, have the doctor call, or sometimes if you have a financial girl that's really, really, really good with patients, have them call just to say, my name is, Joyce. I do all the new patient coordination here. I would like to prepare you better for your visit to come in and see the doctor. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. I'm going to see if I can help you out a little bit first. So what are you coming in to see us for? How long has that been going on? What is it that you're really looking for? Is changing your smile, very important, or is it not very important? Is just getting the function back important? What is it that you really want? When did this start? What started this? And what you do is you start getting them to open up a little bit to tell you a story that they start to trust in you. I want to. Yeah. I've been wearing a denture for 20 years. I've been single, for 20 years, and it's so embarrassing. And I finally went on a date last week, and I went to say something, and my denture flew out and hit the table, and I was so embarrassed. And I just don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be single anymore. You start getting those things coming out, and you would be that person, or the doctor would be the person saying, "Man, that's horrible. I understand." And that's what we do here. We change lives, and we are that person that says, okay, you're no longer going to have this stop point in your life. We're going to take care of this situation so you can move on and you can, go to bigger and better things in your life. And we do this for so many people, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing. So you're giving them that hope. That's what these patients from off the street need, because the referred patient's getting it from the dentist. The referred patient's being taken care of. They don't have these fears. They go to the dentist all the time. But that Google patient has these fears.
I feel that, and I find that, and that may be part of a little bit of an issue too, because I have a tendency myself to be doing that a lot in the initial appointment, in the initial encounter on the phone, because they want to talk about it.
Yes.
So I do find myself doing that.
That's fine. Do it. You're good. That's fine.
And
if you have the time.
and they, it's just amazing because they really, really do appreciate it. Oh, I just can't believe you spent that much time with me, and I really appreciate talking to me.
Perfect.
And that makes you, that makes me feel better. But, so it is important to me, and I genuinely do care about that. So
that's good.
To find that and that again can be part of. It's what I feel is the most important, but at the same time, it also can be, like I said, it just gets you. With everything else, that it's, I want people to feel comfortable. That's the biggest important thing for me, is that I want people, when they talk to me or talk to someone here, that they feel really comfortable. And that's all I hear from the Google reviews and from people who come in. And that's, for me, the biggest thing.
It's key. It's key. Don't lose it. Don't stop it. It's key. And that's why, again, I want you to get help so you can do that more. The more hope that you give that patient on the phone, the more likely they're going to come in and accept.
Coming up in part 2 of this video, we'll talk about how to prevent no-shows, and Daniel will talk about insurance and more insurance barriers, new patient scheduling tips, price competition, and how to use the implant warranty to get patients into your office.